7. Today we're going to be talking about all the games from Auburn's versus Purdue to now our recent game against Mississippi State. Today I'm here with Mitchell Swanson. Great to have you on the podcast again.
Thanks for having me.
Now, starting off, Auburn is number 1.
About time.
Hasn't been that time since Jabari year. Like, we were there for a week, then we went down. Don't remember what team it was. But I definitely think this one is here to stay for a lot longer. Don't remember who we got next on the schedule, but actually it's at Georgia, which could be a loss, but I do think we'll win that one. We have been playing incredible. We have the best record among the top 5. How do we do this? Like, how do we all the way get up here?
It all starts with down low, Janai Broome. Obviously, had a devastating injury against South Carolina, but I mean, all you can hope for is he'll be back soon. But as I said, it all starts with Janai Broome. Janai Broome down low. I mean, he's really a force. I mean, there's really no stopping him unless you put 2 or 3 guys on.
When you average a double-double and like 3 blocks, you're a force to reckon with down low.
And that's probably why before the South Carolina game he was the National Player of the Year frontrunner. And I believe Janai will go late second round, mid second round, even with winning the National Player of the Year if he wins that, because of. There's just some NBA things that he's not ready for, but he is improving steadily, and he is steadily rising in draft stock.
I definitely think so, too. Now, our first game that we haven't covered since Christmas break was number 16, Purdue. That was an incredible win, 69-87, a blowout win. Janai, of course, was the big play there, a double-double. Now, what did you see this game? You played in Birmingham. I'm really impressed about how we played because Purdue is a good team. They're tough to play against.
Absolutely. Honestly, Denver Jones' production has been going up and up all season long.
Yeah.
As well as Todd Bedford. Todd Bedford had 18 points. When you really have stats like those with, your 2 guards and then Janai Broome 23 points and, as you said, a double-double, 11 rebounds, it's really hard to stop that kind of offense when you have 3 guys that are averaging over 10 points, that are averaging over 10 points a game. I believe Denver's averaging around 15 a game now. And
he's an incredible 3-point shooter.
Absolutely. When you just shoot as well as Auburn does and play defense as well as Auburn does, you're more likely to get things done against harder opponents, especially on neutral sites.
After that, we did have Monmouth. It was a really easy game. We won 58-87 final score with Ja'Kai Howard's massive alley-oops, which I did not think were possible, having Tahad throwing one from half court and they reverse alley-oop. That's so hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, 44-inch vertical for Ja'Kai Howard. Getting on the point by at the beginning of the season. Now he's stepping up. Same thing with Jaheim Hudson. He's also stepping up now that Janai is injured. And I do think this was just a quick game, pretty easy. Any remarks for you?
Dylan Cardwell had a double-double as well. He had 12 points, 11 rebounds. Other than that, it's kind of a quiet game from everybody. Chaney Johnson had a light 12 points, as well as CBM having 13. This is kind of one of those games where it's like a recovery game. You get ready for SEC play. It's kind of what all the big football schools do right before SEC play. Right before conference play, they schedule an FCS team or a low-conference Sun Belt team, just to get rest, rejuvenate your starters, and then also get, the second string and third string guys some reps and some good game time reps.
Yeah, overall view in non-con, we go, 13-1, only lost being at Duke, beating people like Iowa State, Houston, North Carolina, Memphis. Great start.
Absolutely.
I did not expect us to go 15-1. I was looking more at 10-4 maybe,
Absolutely.
Getting it to where we are right now. Then we moved to SEC play, playing Missouri at home. We absolutely demolished them, 84-68. Janai then also going incredible, 24 points, 7 boards. Great game. Mitchell, how did this prepare us for playing tough games in the future?
Missouri did put up a little fight in the first half. And no discredit to Missouri. I mean, they just came up with a big win against, I believe, Florida. But, I think this is also one of the easier SEC games we'll play, even though Missouri has proven themselves to be a tough team to play at times.
Like you said, beat number 5 Florida at Florida.
Absolutely. It's just the players that I'm seeing is CBM, Denver Jones, Chaney Johnson, Todd Bedford, Ja'Kai Howard, and even Miles Kelly. Those guys are starting to come along throughout the season, and especially in this game, getting the walk-ons and getting all the practice squad players in. It's huge when you get those guys in during an SEC game.
Definitely. Texas was going really easy. We were playing really well, up by 20, till about 5 minutes left, with someone named Arthur Kalama. 34 points in the game. Went crazy in the last 5 minutes, brought it to 5, and then we ended up getting out for the win I believe 87-82. Really close game there. I think this gave us really a wake-up call, how tough it is to play on the road in the SEC.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that Texas guy, he had 5 3-pointers in the second half.
Yep.
That's like, I believe, almost half the 3-pointers Texas took, or at least a big chunk of the 3-pointers Texas took, or made, actually. But it's a sloppy defense. You got to pick your defense up. Even Texas is a very good basketball team. Don't get me wrong. Texas is, they I believe they dropped four losses.
Yeah, started off ranked too.
But Texas is a good basketball team. Their head coach is very good. So I think that was a good tough test on the road, for us to begin road play in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Now the worst SEC team, South Carolina. That was next, going to the game, I think 10-4. 10-4, worst SEC team there. That was nothing compared to last season. Last season we had Missouri and Vanderbilt. Missouri not even winning an SEC game. Mm-hmm. But now everybody is at least pretty decent. South Carolina, though, playing at South Carolina, everybody just had an off night on the same night.
Yeah.
And that never ends out well. Janai comes out with an ankle injury after landing on Chaney's foot. That Merwin's morale was at an absolute low. Then we started to claw back. I think we were down like 7, clawed back, and ended up getting the win by 3. What'd you see there that prepared us after Janai went down?
We're clutch. We're clutch at tough moments. It really all started with Pedford hitting those 2 clutch free throws, and then you had Denver Jones going to line to, I believe, get us the lead to make us lead 66-63. But that huge injury with Janai going out, that really hurt the team, and as you said, it lowered the morale for the team. Because, he's our guy, he's our leader, and he's somebody on that team who will, pick us up when you're down, and he'll also get the whole crowd hype. Him and Dylan Cardwell down low. But, Dylan Cardwell really did a good job.
He did. He stepped up. Yeah.
Bruce Pearl did have a press conference, and, it's the fouling and it's the being a little bit too aggressive from CBM and Dylan Cardwell that gets them the fouls, but also kind of gets us in these kind of tough situations. But, they've really picked it up so far in that Mississippi State game.
Yeah, I definitely think going into state, I was thinking we were going to lose that game. We haven't lost at home in a while, SEC play, but I thought we were going to lose that game by 4, be a close one. We were favored by 7 points. Ended up winning by what, 22?
22.
Yep, 66-88 final score. Chaney and CBM, without Janai, they exploded.
Yeah.
Nobody saw CBM having 20 points, Chaney having 17. They stepped up. Jaheim Hudson got playing time. Cardwell stepped in. The whole team just rose to the challenge and played. What a game.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I think Chaney Johnson would average at least 15 or 20 points a game if Janai Broome was not in front of him. Because with Janai Broome in, that kind of limits his playing time. Also, CBM, he's a starter, but also you have Janai in, so you can kind of rotate more of those smaller guards in there. So I honestly think Chaney Johnson would average a lot more points than he does right now. But as you said, 17 points from Chaney Johnson and 20 points from CBM. That's a career high for him. Miles Kelly had 13 points. It was really just a good night for all of them. Even Todd Petford coming off the bench. It was a great night for Auburn, and I just don't think Mississippi State could handle it.
Yeah, I don't think they could either. State's a really good team. I think they're playing Ole Miss next at State. I definitely think that they'll be able to win that game. Though Ole Miss, just took down number 4 Alabama by 10 at Alabama. SEC's had a lot of upsets this week. I'm glad we avoided any of them. Though we did see Florida go down to Missouri at their house, and then Bama also go down to Ole Miss. The only game that kind of was expected was Texas A&M losing to Kentucky at Rupp. The SEC is really tough this year. Anything can happen. What do you see our SEC finals being like?
I see us only losing 2 or 3 games in the SEC.
Wow.
It just depends on when the timeline Janai can come back. But then again, it kind of really doesn't matter. If we play like we did against Mississippi State and Chaney Johnson steps up and CBM steps up, then I think we'll be fine without Janai for a while. But mind you, Janai is the backbone of our team in most games. He helps us because we can just throw it down low to him, and he'll put up a nice easy layup or he'll get a tough layup in there. But I only see us losing 2 or 3 games. But it all depends on getting hot at the right time. If we can get hot late in the season, like we did in 2019, that'll help us out tremendously.
It will,
hopefully win the SEC tournament, and then obviously get a 1 seed in the tournament, and so we can go. I'm thinking we can go Sweet 16, Elite 8.
I think we can too. I think we're really strong this season. Hopefully have a moment where we might have a little bit of a downfall in the middle of SEC play, but then like a Coro's team get back up there, get to the top. Sadly, the year was canceled by COVID, but either way, I think that this year will be a lot better than a Coro year. I think this is the best Auburn basketball team that there has ever been, and I definitely think we have a shot to win it all this year.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Finn's Auburn Breakdown. Always make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to be on the podcast, make sure to email the address on the screen. Mitchell, thank you for being here again.
Thanks for having me.
War Eagle.